General Hospital spoilers tease that Kai is truly making a huge mistake as he's having intense interactions with Drew in the current context. The latest storyline involving one of the new shocks is making things escalate when Kai's identity is revealed, creating complex and unprecedented dramatic situations. Marco, revealed to be Kai's father, is a character with a strained relationship with this family. As a talented yet complex lawyer, Marco has been involved in many conflicted situations in the past. The fact that Kai is Marco's son has made him the enemy's child, in the eyes of many, especially since Marco had caused them so much trouble in the past. Trina, who has begun to develop feelings for Kai after recent encounters, feels like her world is being turned upside down by this truth. She cannot imagine that the person she has grown fond of is the child of someone who has caused so much pain and hurt to her loved ones. Trina has always viewed Kai positively, seeing him as a friend and ally, but now the truth about his father is making her reconsider everything she thought she knew about him. As news of Kai's identity spreads, it sends a shockwave through the Port Charles community. Those around Trina, including her friends and family, are left stunned and uncertain about what will happen next. Will Trina be able to overcome her negative emotions and accept Kai for who he is, or will their relationship be destroyed by Marco's troubled past? Drew, who has become a friend and ally to Kai, feels betrayed upon learning the truth about Kai's identity. Though Drew has always believed in Kai's good nature, he can't ignore the fact that Kai's father is a potential enemy. Drew begins to question Kai's loyalty, wondering whether he's been using his trust to justify his father's actions. This creates a difficult situation for both Kai and Trina. Kai feels torn between his loyalty to his father and his developing relationship with Trina. He has to face the reality that his father has caused a lot of harm, and now he is paying the price for those actions. Meanwhile, Trina must decide whether she can move past her negative feelings about Kai's father in order to maintain her relationship with him. Both know that their decision will not only affect themselves but could also have repercussions for those around them. Trina will face negative reactions from her friends and family if she decides to continue her relationship with Kai. Meanwhile, Kai will have to find a way to atone for his father's actions and prove that he's not an enemy like his father. Thus, the story surrounding Kai and his identity is becoming one of the biggest shocks on General Hospital in recent times. With this revelation, not only will Trina and Kai's lives be affected, but the entire Port Charles community will face a dramatic and challenging situation. Will they be able to navigate through this complexity and find a path toward reconciliation and understanding? Or will their relationship be destroyed by the past and the secrets that have been hidden? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, their lives will never be the same after this revelation. In the coming weeks, Kai and Trina's story will continue to unfold with new twists and dramatic turns. The introduction of Marco as a key character will add a new layer of complexity to the plot as he begins to protect his son and fight for his honor. This could lead to a new confrontation between the families of Port Charles as they face the past and the difficult decisions they've made. Ultimately, the truth about Kai's father is not just a personal identity crisis but also a lesson about forgiveness and acceptance. Will Kai and Trina be able to overcome this challenge and build a future together, or will the past be an insurmountable obstacle? This is the question that has many General Hospital fans eagerly awaiting what will happen next. Trina and Portia are under increasing pressure from Drew, one of the latest twists making General Hospital's storyline even more complex. Drew, as a key character, seems to be involved in some mysterious activities that could directly affect both Trina and Portia's lives. If Drew's connection with Sidwell is solidifying, it's proving to be one of the latest crazy developments. Sidwell, a potential enemy of Port Charles, has started plotting against the city's powerful families. And Drew's involvement with him could create a dangerous situation for everyone around them. This evolving story is heating up, and things are increasingly spiraling out of control. Trina, who has been developing a relationship with Kai, is now facing pressure from both the truth about Kai's father and Drew's connection with Sidwell. Portia, as Trina's mother, is deeply concerned about her daughter's safety, especially as more secrets start to unfold. one of the latest shocks is making things even more chaotic. The relationship between Drew and Sidwell is not just a regular connection, it may also be part of a larger conspiracy aimed at destabilizing the current power balance in Port Charles. Sidwell, who has been involved in many illicit activities, could be using Drew as a tool to achieve his goals. As this situation escalates, the Port Charles community is facing significant challenges. Alex Devane, a security expert, begins investigating Sidwell's activities and his connection to Drew. This could lead to a direct confrontation between Alex and Sidwell, with unpredictable consequences for everyone involved. Drew, once a beloved character for his honesty and bravery, now faces criticism from his friends and allies. He is torn between his loyalty to them and the personal goals he's currently pursuing. Meanwhile, the speculation about the truth behind Drew and Sidwell's relationship is sparking heated discussions among fans. Everyone is asking how Drew could be involved with an enemy like Sidwell and whether he is being forced into it by external pressures. This story not only affects Trina and Portia but also has major implications for the entire Port Charles community. The elite families and power brokers are having to reassess their alliances and prepare for a new power struggle. Jason Morgan, Sonny Corinthos, and Carly Spencer are all closely monitoring the situation, ready to act when necessary to protect their loved ones and their interests. As things begin to clear up, Port Charles will face some of its greatest challenges in its history. The combination of lingering secrets, complicated relationships, and new enemies is creating a highly dramatic and unpredictable backdrop. Fans will witness an unprecedented power struggle, filled with emotional twists and turns. In the coming weeks, General Hospital will continue to ramp up its pacing with more revelations and confrontations on the horizon. Will Drew be able to explain his actions and overcome the pressure from all sides? Or will he become a true enemy of Port Charles? The truth will eventually come out as the storm continues to build, but one thing is certain, many lives will never be the same after these events. Trina and Kai are having intense interactions filled with emotion and potential as their relationship grows stronger. However, with the new changes coming, this is proving to be a story connected to the shifts happening. Their relationship will face greater challenges than ever before when Trina discovers she is pregnant with Kai's child. When Trina learns of her pregnancy, she feels a great sense of despair. This is not just about facing the responsibility of motherhood but also realizing the truth about Kai's father, Marco, a man with a mysterious past who is not well liked. This situation puts immense pressure on Trina, forcing her to weigh the choice between keeping her relationship with Kai and protecting herself and her unborn child from the potential consequences of Kai's family. The shock about Kai's identity is truly overwhelming Trina. She can't believe that the person she has developed feelings for has hidden such a big secret. The truth about Kai's father is not just a personal issue but also involves many people in Port Charles who have been hurt by Marco in the past. As Trina tries to learn more about Kai's family, she starts to realize that things are far more complicated than she thought. Marco, once a successful lawyer but also a devious figure, may be hiding even more secrets than Trina ever imagined. This makes her question whether Kai is like his father and whether she can trust him. Despite feeling desperate, Trina tries to remain calm and figure out how to handle the situation. She knows that she must prioritize her own health and that of the baby, but she also doesn't want to abandon Kai when he needs her the most. This situation creates a fierce internal battle for Trina, between being loyal to her heart and confronting the uncertain risks from Kai's family. Meanwhile, Kai is doing everything he can to prove that he is not like his father. And he's willing to do anything to protect Trina and their unborn child. He starts trying to clear his name and separate himself from his father's actions, but things are not as easy as he imagined. The fact that Marco is his father is not just a family issue but also a major barrier to earning the trust of those around him. As the storm surrounding Kai's identity and Trina's pregnancy continues, Port Charles will witness an emotional showdown between loved ones and potential enemies. Marco, with his troubled past, will become a significant factor in the story as he starts getting involved in Kai and Trina's lives. Drew will also be pulled into this situation, having to balance between protecting Kai and supporting Trina, who he also considers a close friend. The complexity of their relationships will create many dramatic and emotional situations as both sides face new and difficult challenges. In the coming weeks, General Hospital will continue to develop its storyline with surprising twists. Will Trina and Kai overcome these challenges and build a future together? Or will Marco's past become an insurmountable obstacle? This is the question that has fans eagerly awaiting the next developments. This situation also raises questions about family, love, and forgiveness. Can the mistakes of parents affect their children, or can children decide their own destinies? These are big themes that General Hospital will explore through Trina and Kai's story, promising emotional and surprising moments for fans. As Trina and Kai's world is turned upside down by new truths, they will also have to face reactions from friends and colleagues. Cameron, Trina's close friend, will play an important role in helping her get through this tough time. Meanwhile, Jocelyn, always ready to support Trina, will have to decide whether to stay neutral or stand by her friend in this complicated situation. Thus, the storms surrounding Trina, Kai, and Marco will continue to spark confrontations and changes in Port Charles. This story is not just about love but also about growing up, loyalty, and facing life's challenges. Trina and Kai, with their newfound friendship and love, will have to learn to overcome and build a future together despite the barriers from family and society. Kai has been planted by Sidwell and Marco to gather information from Portia and Curtis, a new detail that is making the storyline more complicated than ever. The story that Trina is receiving betrayals is really setting up for a new shock. Trina, who had started to place her trust in Kai and was developing a romantic relationship with him, now faces the reality that Kai may not be who she thought he was. Trina feels deeply betrayed when she finds out that Kai has been used by Sidwell and Marco as a tool to extract information from Portia and Curtis. She can't believe that the person she cared for is part of this scheme, and it forces her to question everything she thought she knew about Kai. The trust that Trina had built with Kai is now shattered, and she faces the fear that she may have unwittingly revealed important information to the enemy. Trina and Kai came together in love with many hopes and expectations, but now their relationship is being tested by this betrayal. She doesn't know if Kai is sincere, if he is trying to protect her, or if he has simply been playing a game of deceit. This leaves Trina feeling as though she is walking on a thin line, unsure of who she can trust. This story is proving to be one of the more insane schemes to unfold. Sidwell and Marco, two cunning and experienced figures, have played a sophisticated game to achieve their goals. They have used Kai as a pawn in their plan, and this shows that they are willing to do anything to get the information they want. As the news about Kai's involvement spreads, Curtis and Portia begin to reassess everything. They can't believe that someone they had considered a friend is actually working for the enemy. This creates a crisis of trust within their family, as they begin to question the people they once thought were reliable. In this context, Stella Henry, Curtis's wise and respected grandmother, will play a crucial role in helping the family navigate through this crisis. She will try to help Portia and Curtis rebuild their trust and find ways to protect themselves from those who wish to harm them. Curtis, with his investigative experience, will start looking into how Sidwell and Marco have been using Kai. He will try to gather evidence and find out if anyone else has been involved in this plot. This could lead to a direct confrontation between Curtis and Sidwell, the two potential enemies waiting for each other's next move. Meanwhile, Trina's pregnancy situation becomes even more complicated as she faces this betrayal. She doesn't know whether she can keep the baby and continue her relationship with Kai. Their relationship is being tested by secrets and betrayal, and Trina has to decide whether she should continue to trust the love they built. As Trina tries to learn more about Kai's family and what they've done, she starts to realize that things are far more complicated than she thought. Marco, once a successful lawyer but also a devious figure, may be hiding more secrets than Trina ever imagined. This makes her question whether Kai is like his father and whether she can trust him. Thus, the story surrounding Kai, Trina, and their families is becoming increasingly insane and complicated. Kai's betrayal is not just a personal issue but also part of a larger plan that could affect many people in Port Charles. Can they overcome these challenges and uncover the truth? Or will everything get worse? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, their lives will never be the same after these events. In the coming weeks, General Hospital will continue to evolve with unexpected twists. Kai will have to face the consequences of his actions and decide whether he should continue working for Sidwell and Marco. Trina, as a strong and determined woman, will have to find a way to protect herself and her unborn child from those who wish to harm them. Portia and Curtis will also have to decide whether they should continue to trust Kai. This will create a confrontation between them and Sidwell, as both sides try to protect their loved ones. The situation will lead to heated discussions and difficult decisions, as everyone must balance loyalty with personal safety. Ultimately, the truth about Kai's role in Sidwell and Marco's plan will be revealed, and this will change everything in Port Charles. Can they overcome this betrayal and regain trust? Or will the truth be too hard to accept? This is the question that many fans are eagerly waiting to see the developments unfold. Thus, General Hospital continues to ramp up the pace of the storyline, with dramatic and emotional twists. The betrayal of loved ones is always a hot topic, and in this case, it has become an integral part of the story. The love between Trina and Kai has become part of a larger plan, and they must find a way to overcome this challenge and rebuild trust. As the situation continues to escalate, fans will witness a power struggle full of tension and direct confrontations. Sidwell, Marco, and their allies will face off against Curtis, Portia, and their supporters in an ongoing battle to protect the truth and power. Amidst all this, Trina and Kai will have to find a way to protect themselves and their unborn child, while trying to maintain a relationship that is being tested by betrayal and unacceptable secrets. Kai truly regrets what has happened, and a complex and emotional situation is unfolding in his life. One of the new shocks in the story is that Kai has revealed that Spencer is still alive, which is adding a new layer of insanity to the ongoing plot. Kai, with feelings of guilt and remorse over his betrayal, has begun trying to make amends. He knows that hiding the truth about Spencer was a huge mistake. And now he wants to clear his name by revealing this truth. However, the revelation that Spencer is still alive is not just a simple step. It will open up a series of questions and reactions from those around him, especially Spencer's family and those who were affected by his supposed death. This story is becoming part of a bigger plan, as Kai tries to fix his past mistakes and find a way to regain the trust of his loved ones. The news that Spencer is still alive could be a shocking revelation, not only to Kai but to the entire Port Charles community. This will create a new storm, with many people having to face the fact that they were deceived about Spencer's death. Kai, who was involved in hiding the truth, will have to face the consequences of his actions. He will have to explain why he stayed silent and participated in the scheme. Kai's regret is not only personal but also about the harm he caused to others by concealing the truth. Trina, who had started to trust Kai and is pregnant with his child, will have to face feelings of confusion and uncertainty. She doesn't know if she can continue trusting Kai, especially after his involvement in hiding such a big secret. This will create an inner struggle for Trina, as she must weigh her love for Kai against her fear of the consequences of his actions. As news of Spencer's survival begins to spread, Port Charles will witness a series of reactions from the key characters. If Spencer is truly alive, he will have to face the fact that everyone thought he was dead. This will create an emotionally charged situation as he must prove his existence and explain why he disappeared all this time. Meanwhile, Spencer's enemies will have to reconsider their plans, as they had based their actions on the belief that he was no longer around. This could lead to a new confrontation between Spencer and his former foes, as everyone fights to reclaim what belongs to them. Curtis and Portia will also have to face the consequences of Spencer's survival. They had trusted Kai, and now they will have to reassess everything that has happened. Kai's actions could damage their trust in him, and they will have to decide whether they should continue supporting him. Thus, The story surrounding Kai and Spencer is becoming increasingly insane and complex. Kai's regret and the revelation that Spencer is still alive are creating a series of dramatic situations as everyone must confront the truth and the consequences of past actions. Can Kai fix his mistakes and regain trust, or will the consequences be too great to overcome? That's the question that has many fans eagerly awaiting the next developments. As the storm surrounding Spencer and Kai continues to unfold, Port Charles will witness a dramatic power struggle and emotional confrontations. Kai and Trina's relationship will face new challenges. And their final decision will depend on whether their love is strong enough to overcome betrayal and unacceptable secrets.